one of the other Dhamma speaker, so he'll be coming along, teacher Bo Bissett. So again, my deep respect to Venerable Mahasangha, and again, greetings to all friends in Dhamma who are following us live on demand this morning. I am Sakan Tim, and I'm here, state of Washington, USA. And welcome to a Dhamma Life Dhammasandana program. This program is brought to you by the Dhammika Life Foundation, which is led by our most venerable Soktivi, who is also currently resides in the USA. This program is usually hosted in both languages, Khmer and English. The language switches interchangeably, and every Friday at 8 p.m. Cambodia time and 6 a.m. Seattle time. So our main purpose is to disseminate the Buddha's teaching, for which we all can use to practice and apply into our daily life for everyone around the world, not just Buddhists only. And so today's Dhamma discussion will be on Āsāḻha Pūjā discussions. So not many of us knows what this occasion is, because majority of the Buddhists celebrate most are the Magha Pūjā and the Visakha Pūjā day. And so let's find out from our Dhamma speakers. They are the subject of experts on the significance about Āsāḻha Pūjā occasions. So however, before we start again, it is such great privilege to have our Dhamma speakers to join with us today. So please allow me to introduce them to you. So the first speaker is Venerable Bhante Gaspat Hunkama. My respect to you. Good evening to you over there. And he is the executive director of the International Cambodian Buddhist Center, Sri Lanka. And Bhante is also the meditation trainer. Currently, he is staying at Vipassanadhara Buddhist Center in Odong and of Cambodia. And he is also director, Cambodian Child Development Center for Special Needs, Sri Lanka. And our second speaker, which he is not here yet, is teacher Bo Bissett. He taught Pali language class in 2007 at Bailan province and Cambodia, and currently is teaching the Pali language online for the Dhammika Academy. And so teacher Bo Bissett currently resides in Louisiana, USA, with his beautiful wife. I see them on Facebook all the time, so they look so great together as a couple. So anyway, we will start this morning with Bhante Gaspat. So we do, I understand that today it's kind of hard for us to kind of get into, have some internet issues, right? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Yes. Yes. So, so this, in the Āsāḻha Pūjā occasion, there are so many different, many significant events happening during the Buddha's time. And those events, considering are most important than others' event. And so that was happening during the Buddha's times. Would you kindly start off with Bhante Gaspat? Would you be able to provide briefly, the whole entire historic events on the Āsāḻha Pūjā day? And if possible, if you can, could you confirm specific years these events takes place? Because a lot of us really don't know what Āsāḻha Pūjā occasion is. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, sister, for the invitation. So at the inception, let me pay my respect to the Triple Gem and dear Honorable Sirs, dear devotees, and my co-speaker, but he's not here yet, and the moderator and the technical team. And friends around the globe. Āsāḻha Pūjā, and as we know, I mean, the months which are using by us, today, when we trace back the history of each and every name of the month, like February, January, so simply they are related to the historical background or the religious background of that particular culture. Like for example February, the original name, the origin term of the February is the name of the god, and so on. What I want to say is, when it comes to the Buddhist calendar, there are months. So for example, like Visakha Pūjā. So Visakha is the name of the month, which was used by Indian society. And similarly, the Āsāḻha Pūjā, or the month Āsāḻha, is the name of the month which was used by the Indian philosophers or Indian culture. And it is added the word puja, so it kinds of suffering or ceremony. The reason behind using such term is to commemorate or celebrate the significant or special events in Buddhism. They are related or corresponding events happening at Buddha's time. According to the Buddhist history, there are many significant events happen during the Buddha's time or after the Buddha's time, but during Āsāḻha Pūjā ceremony, what we are celebrating is the specific events happening during the Buddha's time, and that is why we choose this month in order to celebrate such events. So what I wanted to elaborate is why we use this month, or related to the Buddha's biography happened during this month, Āsāḻha month. That is why.
Oh, it seems like we have some internet problem. We can't hear you.
Celebrated. You can hear me?
Oh, it's kind of cut off a little bit here and there.
Yeah. In the internet connection. So now you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me list. I think every one of us know it very well, and you can study more from the book. So there are many special events happening during Buddha's time. First one, or related to his life event. So first one can be the Bodhisattva's conception. It means that the day that he enter his mother womb, we call it Bodhisattva's conception. And second can be the princess crown and marriage, like his coronation ceremony and marriage ceremony. And then the great renunciation happening in this month. And then his first sermon his first disciple of, the first disciple of the Buddha, Most Venerable Anya Kundanya. He attained the first stage of enlightenment. The rise of, of the monk. I mean, this day, this month is the completion of the triple gem, and so on. So, these are some of the significant events happening during Buddha's time and related to his life. So that is why we celebrated Āsāḻha Pūjā. But besides describing the significance of Āsāḻha Pūjā, and as you asked, sister, when this happened, the answer is I can't say the exact date, the exact day, but let us dissect a little bit, and you know that now Buddhism is 2,566 years old, and the way we count is started after the complete passing away of the Buddha. We call it Mahaparinibbana. And then then we have to go back. So when he became enlightenment, so the Buddha became the enlightened one, or reached the Buddhahood when he was 35 years old. Okay, sister? You can write down. Yeah, 35 years old. So, after 3 months of his enlightenment, okay, to the best of my knowledge, he started preach the Dhammatalk Sutta. So, what we have to understand is it's a little bit hard, because different events happen in different months, in different years, but if we just take only the Dhammatalk Sutta, it happened like 2,500. It can be 70 years ago. It can be like that, because when we deduct the 35 years of the Buddha, so they are 45, So this is the way we count, and like another special event is the Buddha's, the Bodhisattva conception. So it happened before his birth. So normally that to bear the baby you should spend 10 months. So if from that perspective, the Bodhisattva's conception happening 2000, I think 600, like 40 kinds of years. I think it's like that. I'm not that good at math, but this is the way we count. So can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So from that way, we cannot say the exact date, exact day, when this happened. But the thing is, those special events happen during this month, just only the different day, different years.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can, but as I said, it can be 2,500 years, 500 years ago, more than that. That the way we we started celebrating this special event.
Okay.
I cannot hear you. Like something wrong with the internet, yeah, or
Bhante, I can hear
with
you.
my side.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. It's okay. Take your time. Look like we have some internet problem. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Bhante, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sister.
Okay. All right. Are these event that you mentioned? So it happened different time, and it's in the same month, right? It's in the same month. And
the thing is, okay, let me say, I'm sorry for interrupting. Like they happen in the same month and on the same day. I mean, but just different years.
Okay.
Why I say on the same day? You know, like because the way the holy day, I mean, holy or sacred day of Buddhism must be on the full moon day. It is clear. I mean, these events happen on the full moon day of the Āsāḻha month. It means Āsāḻha mean I think it is it must be kinds of second or third month of Buddhist calendar, because the first month is Vesak. So this is the way we count you know, the Buddhist calendar happening in the same month on the same day, but because full moon is the day that is recognized to be sacred. So these events happen on full moon day of Āsāḻha month, but just in different years.
That's amazing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Should I repeat again?
Yes, please, because it kind of stuck a little bit.
Okay, so let me repeat. What I was explaining is these special events, which were mentioned by me earlier, happen in the same month, on the same day, but in different years.
Okay.
The reason I say that on the same day is they happen on full moon day of Āsāḻha month.
Okay.
That, I mean, when the moon is in full. So this is the way they happen. Yeah.
Sadhu. It's amazing how it's all these events happen on that same day, same month, and it's on full moon day. And it looks like our other guest speaker is not in here yet.
Okay, we can continue and you can ask.
We can continue. Okay, so thank you for providing all this historical events. That's amazing. But now I wanted to target on I believe there are 4 major significant events that are considered as most important, and on that Āsāḻha Pūjā Day. Could you explain to us what are those important events and why are they considered as important?
You know, the events happening during this month for me are important, but they are important in 2 ways. I mean, as you said, they are specifically, categorize that there are 4 events are more important. So the first one is the first sermon of the Buddha, the Dhammatalk Sutta, and then is the attainment of Venerable Anya Kundanya, and the arising of the Sangha, or the birth of the Sangha. And then, okay, and another one is the Buddha's twin miracle, the Buddha's twin miracle. So let me count again. I mean, the first, first sermon of the Buddha, the completion of the triple gem, or we can say the rise of the monk, and the Buddha's twin miracle. And others events are so important, like the Buddha's conception, but those are important in different terms, like, because those are events related to his life. But what I have mentioned earlier, like his first sermon, is the rise of the Dhamma. It's mean that after his attainment of the Buddhahood, this is the first time that he preached the Dhamma. So that is why we call it the complete body of the triple gem. So the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. Once, after his teaching, through listening to his first Dhammatalk, Venerable Anya Kundanya attained the first stage of Nibbana. So that is why they are recognized most important events during Āsāḻha Pūjā, and those are the events are celebrated by the Buddhists around the globe, and they are recognized to be sacred and to be most significant. The thing is, when we dissect or when we study profoundly the content of the Dhammatalk Sutta, we can understand this is the heart and this is the core philosophy of Buddhism, that sum up in one discourse, and the entire philosophy is there. I mean, every and each teaching contains in Dhammatalk Sutta, and this is the foundation. And I think that is why they are recognized and they are regarded most important events to be celebrated during this month. That's all, sister.
Thank you, Bhante. I see we have our guest speakers here. Teacher Bobisit, can you hear us?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Namaste, Bhante.
Oh, good to have you here. So I want to go ahead and ask, since you're here, Bhante Gaspar had went through the historical event of the Āsāḻha Pūjā Day, and also the important significance of the Āsāḻha, the most important one that we, the 4 important ones. And I wanted to, is there anything that you want to add to that, or I can just, so he went through all those for us. And so what I want to ask you is, why did the Buddha decide to choose Dhammatalk Sutta as his first sermon? Why does he choose that as his first choice? And what can we learn as take-home message from this course? Teacher Bobisit, can you understand the question? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, but I just a little bit about your question.
Okay.
Yeah. Again.
Yes. Okay. So, why did the Buddha decide to choose Dhammatalk Sutta as his first sermon? Can you explain why he chose to choose that sermon as his first sermon?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so.
It's okay. Take your time. Take your time.
Can you help me, please? Yeah. And I will follow you. Okay.
Can hear you, yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yep. So you asked me to answer, right?
Yeah.
He said to help so he can follow you.
Yeah. And you can support me. So thank you for giving me the chance. So why Buddha decided to give his first sermon, the Dhammatalk Sutta to his first 5 disciples?
Yeah.
And it is the first sermon teaching of the Buddha. The reason I say the exact reason, but I can describe by using different reasons from the scriptures. The thing is, when we study profoundly and dissect the content in Dhammatalk Sutta, this is the core philosophy of Buddhism, and everything is there. I mean the fundamental teaching of Buddhism in order to attain enlightenment. What should you do? And it starts from where? Like first one is the truth of suffering. So it kinds of gradual stages that we have to go through, and so this is what I said. This is the heart of Buddhism, because everything is there. And I mean, because the core philosophy of Buddhism is to attain enlightenment. So the basic step and the fundamental step are there in Dhammatalk Sutta, and that is why he preached to his first disciples. And on another perspective is, from my understanding, Dhammatalk Sutta is very deep, is very profound teaching, and you cannot just listen and become the enlightened one. You need a very strong and very powerful wisdom to do so, and your wisdom must be cultivated, throughout, countless eons, to be that way. So, because the Buddha had the ability to read his disciples' mental faculties, and this is the proper teaching that he should give to his disciples. And on another perspective is, and this is the first teaching, and it would be the final teaching of the Buddha. I mean, brother, both Pisat know very well. There are 3 kinds of Mahaparinibbana, or the complete cessation of the Buddha. First one is Kilesa Mahaparinibbana, and Khanda Mahaparinibbana. And the final one is, we call it Dhatu Parinibbana. I mean the cessation of his relics. So after 5,000 years, all his relics will be collected and will erect as the Buddha statue in India under the Bodhi tree of Bodh Gaya, and he will preach his Dhammatalk Sutta again there. So and I think this is the reason, simply because this is the heart and the core philosophy of Buddhism. That is why he started teach such discourse to his first disciples. So that's all from me, and I think Brother Bo said have more to add.
Okay, thank you, Teacher Bovisit. Do you have any more to add to that?
Yeah, thank you for your question and your answer as a Venerable Hun Camera. Yes, the question why the Buddha decided to preach the Dhammatalk Sutta. Yeah, why? And the first sermon. Yes, I think it's the first. The Buddha want to spread the Dhamma to the world, but the five people is the high knowledge in that time. Yeah, because the first person is Āsāḷha Tapasa, and the second is Uttaka, and the next Panjavakya Paiko, Kaundanya, Wapa, Pūjā, Mahanama, and Āsāḷha. Yeah. So five people like Panjavakya, yeah, can get the knowledge, get the listen the Dhamma that the Buddha proclaim the Dhammatalk Sutta. At this time, I want to share the document that I record from the Buddha, his line, his teaching, written by Payatesai. Yeah. He's a monk of Sri Lanka and he's passed away. So I want to share about the middle chaos. Yeah. I think it's here. Yeah. I think the nine even maybe some Venerable Hun Cameras spoke already. And yeah, it's number 4. Yeah, the red color. The first sermon mean that international is Dhamma Day. Yeah, the full moon day of Āsāḷha month is Dhamma Day. Dhamma Day is Dhammatalk Sutta. Yeah, this is Dhamma Day, or the first sermon. Yeah. So it's the Buddha proclaimed about the middle path. Yeah. On the full moon day of July, 44 years and 10 months before Bodhisattva, in the evening, at the moment the sun was setting, and the full moon day simultaneously resting in the deer park at Isipatana, the Buddha addressed them. Kaundanya, Wapa, Pūjā, Mahanama, and Āsāḷha. Yeah. Yeah, monk. The extreme ought not to be cultivated by the recluse. What to the Pali mean katame twe. It is English. It's what to. Yeah. Sensual intelligence, which is low, vulgar, worldly, ignoble, and conceit to him, and self mortification, which is painful, ignoble, and conceit to him. The middle path monk understood by the Tathagata, avoiding the extreme. Yeah. Avoiding the extreme, the Pali Kama Sukhalikanu Yoga and Attakalatmatanu Yoga. Yeah. Give vision and knowledge and lead to calm realization, enlightenment, and Nibbana. And what Mang is that middle path. It is the noble eightfold path, namely right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Then the Buddha explained to them the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Truth of suffering, the Noble Truth of the arising of suffering, the Noble Truth of the cessation of suffering, and the Noble Truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering. Thus did the Supreme Buddha proclaim the truth and set into motion the wheel of the Dhamma, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. This first discourse, this message of the deer park, Mikataya Wana, yeah. It said Patanya Mikataya one, it said Patanya Mikataya Wana, yeah, deer park. Is the core of the Buddha's teaching as the footprint of every creator that walk the earth could be included in the elephant's footprint, which is pre-eminent foresight. So that's the doctrine of the Four Noble Truths impressed the entire teaching of the Buddha. Explaining each of the Four Noble Truths, the Master said, such Mang was the vision, the knowledge, the wisdom, the insight, the light that arose in me. Yeah. In the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, Jakhong Uttapati, yeah. Jakhong Uttapati, vision, yeah. And Jnana, or Jnanam Uttapati, yeah, knowledge. And Panya Uttapati, wisdom. And Vichya Uttapati, the insight. And Āsāḷha Uttapati, the light. Yeah, I think it's a Pali. It's a and we compare to the English. Yeah, we can easy to understand about this. Yeah, and then this one. Yeah, that again about seeing no heard before. Yeah, Anupope. Yeah. As long as Mang, my intuitive knowledge, my vision in regard to these Four Noble Truths was not absolutely clear to me, I did not claim that I have gained the incomparable supreme enlightenment. But when my intuitive knowledge, my vision in regard to these Four Noble Truths was absolutely clear to me, then only did I claim that I had gained the incomparable supreme enlightenment, and there arose in me insight and vision, unshakable in the dividend of my mind. Akopame Chatta Vimoti. Yeah. This is my last birth. There is no more becoming rebirth. Thus spoke the Buddha, and the 5 monks, glad at heart, applaud the word of the Blessed One. Yeah. This means that Attamaniya Panjavakkiye Paiko, yeah, Paiko Apinontunte, yeah. I think I just share the document that I write from the book, the Buddha, his teaching, only this. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, teacher. I feel like I am a student now. So just to sum it up, Dhammacakkappavattana is a, like you mentioned, is the Dhamma Day, and like also both Bhante Gaspar has also mentioned, and you, that is to avoid two extremes is self-indulgent and self-mortification. And the best way to walk is on the middle path, and knowing the knowledge of the noble fourth truth, the four noble truth knowledge, so we can have knowledge and wisdom. Thank you both. And I also want to ask, I would say I could ask both as well. So Anatta Gondanya is one of the 5 ascetics, experienced the first level of Nibbana and become the first stream enterer by just listening to the first discourse. So what are the qualities of factors that allow him to penetrate such a department of understanding of Dhamma? Okay. And then how can we develop the qualities? So we can start off with Bhante Gasapat, and then we'll follow with teacher Bobasit. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sister, for the question. And it is very good question because there are many misunderstanding that just listening to the Dhamma, we can attain enlightenment. Just listening to the Dhamma, we are capable of attaining enlightenment. This is wrong interpretation, wrong understanding. I mean, yes, just seeing that, okay, Anya Kundanya, just listen to the Buddha talk, he attained enlightenment. Visa, Mahopasika Visakha, just listening to the Dhamma talk, she attained the first stage of enlightenment, Nibbana, when she was 7 years old. So it kinds of, I mean, those events are mistakenly internalized, and we think that no need to practice. We just listening to the Dhamma, we can attain enlightenment. So this is totally wrong. The thing is, my metaphor is, okay, you got the degree of PhD, I mean, within 4 years, but it doesn't happen within 4 years. To make you such a knowledgeable person, equipped with, countless knowledge to reach your PhD and to gain the degree. Simply, you have to start from the beginning, grade 1, grade 2. Simply, you have to go through different stages of or levels of education. Only that you can gain your PhD. Otherwise, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight because Most Honorable Anya Kundanya, he attained enlightenment, overnight. It happened overnight. But it does, in order to happen like him, you have to practice because he, fulfill his perfections, in countless eons, 1,000 billion of years. He keep practicing, he keep practicing, he keep practicing. He can give up whatever, he has, even the kingship, even his wife, even his, any kinds of property. Like when he decided to give up, he just give up. But for us, we make thousands of excuses, even just, not staying at home for one night, we cannot do that. But for them, they spend billion of years in the forest practicing meditation, attainment of jhana and practicing vipassana again and again. And this is the way that he collected the power of the wisdom to penetrate, because to attain enlightenment is not that the easy job the way we think. It's the most difficult thing. You need to cultivate abundance of qualities that in Buddhism you call it paramita. You have in Khmer you call it Bompeng Baramai. You have to fulfill the perfections. You know, the Buddha, Buddha had to fulfill his 30 perfections. Like in Khmer, let me say it in Khmer. Buna Sangkai Kumrai Musain Kap. I mean, for countless eons and thousands of years he did that. But for us, I mean, for Venerable Anya Kondanya, he has to spend, I think, 2 eons in Khmer, like Pia Sangkai, because he also is the greatest disciple. So I mean, this is the way we have to practice, and you have to practice vipassana each and every year. And and another perspective is, I think there are 4 kinds of person in terms of attainment and enlightenment. First one is Ugatitanyu Pugala. I think Brother Professor know it very well. I mean, these persons are very few at Buddha's time. I think Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Moggallana, Anya Kondanya, Visakha Mahopassaka. I mean, those people can grasp, very quickly what the Buddha said. I mean, only within a line. They can, how to say that? I mean, if the Buddha preached just only the verse, I mean, a stanza, they can break it into different pieces like wisdom. I mean, the stages that they reach vipassana knowledge is very fast. Even just listening to one verse or line of any kinds of phrase, and they can attain enlightenment at this birth. Then Ugatitanyu, Vipanchitanyu, I mean, they can attain enlightenment at the during Buddha's time, but just listening to the talk, no, they cannot do that. They have to listen the whole discourse. Just one line is not enough for them. They have to listen to the entire discourse, and then they can attain enlightenment. And other 2, they have to practice. Another one, they have to practice. I forgot another one. Ugaditanyu, Vipanjitanyu, Nyaya Pugala. So Nyaya Pugala, they have to practice. They listen, they practice again and again, then they can attain enlightenment. So they simply, you have to practice, you have to cultivate the qualities that the Buddha mentioned in his Tipitaka. Simply, you have to cultivate the Bodhipakya Dhamma, the 37 awakening factors in and each every birth as much as you can. Simply, you have to practice whatever in the Dhammacakka Pavattana Sutta, mostly each and every birth of your life. Otherwise, I mean, it's happened to everyone. Even me cannot attain enlightenment just only listening to the talk of the Buddha, because you don't have such knowledge to dissect the meaning, the content describing in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutra. So you have to learn and practice countless of years, countless of birth. So that's all from me.
So that will be no luck for me.
No,
can't hear you.
there is a chance if aspiration.
Yeah, I am like also today. Yeah, just today.
It's a lot. It's just like what Bhante Gaspar mentions. Like, we have to listen so many discourse, and that's during the Buddha time, and practice again, and so many eons. There's so many eons, and so Teacher Boba said, can you add just a little bit? Our time is almost, but just go and add a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, the same as the Venerable Gaspar proclaimed the Anya Kondanya, and I just want to share about Anya Kondanya. He he attained the first stage of sainthood, mean that Sautapatipala, yeah, on full moon day of Āsāḷha, yeah. And the next day, yeah, in Pali is Kalapake Pathamaya Teteyang, yeah, Pali. And the English, I don't know, I just want the first one in moon, yeah. It's the deposit of the waxing moon, yeah. Yeah. The first day, yeah. Venerable Wapa, yeah, attained the first stage of sainthood, yeah. And after that, the next 2 days, yeah, the next 2 days, Venerable Pētaya, attained the first stage of sainthood, yeah, Sautapatipala. And the next 3 days, Venerable Mahanama, yeah, attained the first stage of sainthood. And the next 4 days, Venerable Āsāḷha, yeah, Āsāḷha attained the first stage of sainthood. So the name of Pañcavakkhaya Bhikkhu, Kaundanya, Vapa, Pētaya, Mahanama, and Āsāḷha, yeah. Five months, yeah, when the Buddha give the Āsāḷha, yeah, Āsāḷha to them. And the next 5 days, the Buddha proclaimed the Anattalakkana Sutta. And then the 5 months attained the 4th stage of sainthood and Arahata, yeah. And then the Arahat have six Arahat in the world at that time. The Pali tên called Panasamayenacha Arahantao Loke, yeah. Loke Arahantao Honte, yeah. The Pali and the English. I don't know. Maybe when camera maybe know about that. I will practice again and again. I just can understand the Pali and I compare to the English a little bit, yeah. But I will try again and again and again. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, teacher. I can understand your English. We will invite you more so you can you can speak English more again and again. So thank you for joining us. The most important is that you try, and I think you do a good job. And so there are many ways of traditions across the countries to celebrate the Āsāḻha Pūjā. So would you have any advice on how best to commemorate this occasion? So we'll start with Bhante Hunkama. Would you see if you can give us different things that we can celebrate and commemorate this occasion? Advices.
Okay, so yeah, there are many ways to practice or celebrate the Āsāḻha Pūjā, and for me, each and every celebration is important to us. Even the ways we celebrate are different. Some people they practice meditation. Some people they offer the flowers to the Buddha or kinds of procession. Or some people they read or they discuss the core teaching of the Buddha, like Dhammatalk Sutta. Some they recite the discourse until the morning. Some people may say that, okay, do this is better than that. For me, I don't say that, because people they have their own ways is one thing, and the thing is because people they have different aspiration, they have different understanding. So as long as, for me, as long as you are engaging in good deeds, okay, during this day, as long as you are collecting merits, as long as you are cultivating something in the name of the Buddha, I think everything is good. Everything is good for you. And you can start from simple thing. You can start be kind to your kid. You can be kind to your mother. I mean, or being grateful. I mean, as long as you take any kinds of teaching of the Buddha and just practice on that day, I think it is good, because no need uh, to force yourself. Okay, I will sit for meditation for 1 hour, or I have to, learn by heart the Dhammatalk Sutta. No, I mean it's up to you. As long as you feel happy and you feel content for whatever you do, and as long as they are good for you and for others, even simple thing you can do, you can celebrate on that day. So that's all, sisters, account from me.
Thank you. Teacher Bobasit, would you like to add some?
Yeah, I think the Venerable Gaspar talked already about this. Good deed we have to complete in that day. But for me, to pay respect to the Triple Gym and undertake the 5 precept or 8, about Sutta Sila, we can keep in that day and practice the meditation, and we can Svajjaya Thomaja Kappavatana Sutta, learn by heart, and that's all,
Thank you both. So basically, just to sum it up, to celebrate this Āsāḷha Pūjā occasion, is simply just like Venerable Gaspar mentioned, is start doing simple, being kind to mom and dad, sister, if you're being mean to them, and like Teacher Bobasit mentions, just respect the Triple Gem meditations. So just start with a little simple things, things that we never done, and so in this special occasion, just do the best that we can. And so let's just go and start with, I know you mentioned this. Can you give us like your last kind word to everybody before we end our our sessions? Okay, so let's start with Teacher Bobasit. Would you like to say anything to our audience, and what we can take away from you?
Yeah, my last word today. Yeah, I'm very happy that I had opportunity to talk today. Before I talk, I listen again, maybe 1,000 times, and I can talk a little bit. Yeah, this is the lesson, the unit for everybody. If you want to talk English clearly, you listen again, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 times. Yeah, I will. Yeah, next time. Yeah, thank you. Sadhu.
Sadhu. I would say, I think you did an excellent job comparing to. Did you go to like learn English at all? Or right now you're busy, I know, with your lovely wife, managing the business. And so you learn from online, and then you listen to 1,000 times speak.
Yes.
So we can learn a lot from you. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure Venerable Gaspar is also learn a lot, and he has a lot of duties to do. So many duties behind that, and you have business, and and so busy. Both you busy, and Venerable Gaspar very busy. And so your last word, Venerable Gaspar, what can we take away from you before we end the show?
What I want to say is, First thing is, as Brother Poppy said that you have to do even small thing again and again to be, to master it. You have to make it perfect. You have to do it again and again. But before sharing the idea, I highly appreciate his effort. Look back when I trace when I look back the way I learned the English. The thing is, one thing is I keep reading again and again, and sometimes I even don't understand. Even I don't understand the meaning. And another thing is I listen again and again, like BBC or CNN. Just listen. And before I talk, like before I attend any kinds of talk show, I just think and I just act, alone, and how should I talk and how should I present my ideas, and I just take some phrase, then I talk. So this is the way we learn. But from that metaphor, what I want to tell our audience is, when it comes to the practicing Buddhism or any kinds of celebration, Āsāḻha Pūjā, or any kinds of Visakha Pūjā, or any kinds of ceremony, what you have to do is, you cannot say that others are wrong, you are right, because you the way you do is perfect. No, we cannot say that, because some people are just learning to do. Some people are just learning to go to the temple. Some people are just learning to pay respect to the monk. So for me, just start doing a little thing, but just do it again and again. As Brother Poppy said, any kinds of thing, you have to do it again and again, even it is small, even it's tiny. So that's all from me, Sister Sakon, and thank you very much.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Yes, it's like doing again and again. If we make mistake, we'll fix it and we'll do it the right way. And so thank you for your aspirations. And so before we end our live shows, I like to share, the merit from this Dhammadana with living things in the whole universe. And so may all be happy and peaceful. And once again, thank you so much for our Dhamma guests, Bhante Gaspat Hunkam and teacher Bobisit, for sharing your knowledge today. And finally, I would like to express our sincere thanks to our Dhammika Life team members for the hard work that you do behind the scene for providing such a wonderful support to make this program possible. And thank you, Sister Bopaka. And so our technical team person. And last but not least, thank you for joining us and following our live show. As always, now let us spend a few minutes in practicing Metta Bhavana, loving kindness meditation, instructed by Gaspat Hunkam.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Hello everyone. Let us practice loving friendliness meditation for oneself. Self-loving friendliness meditation is the first section of Metta meditation. Self-loving friendliness meditation is designed to direct you to happily take care of yourself, to honestly forgive yourself, to truly accept yourself without conditions. Before starting, please find a very comfortable posture. Close your eyes. Relax your head, your shoulders, your arms, and your entire body. Please slowly take a very deep breath 3 times. When it is done, let your breath flow as naturally as it does. Observe your breath without judgment, reactions, and criticism. Just merely observe it as the way it is while you are listening to my Pali Metta chanting. Aham Now, please create a very tender smile on your face. Visualize your happy and smiling face. You are a very happy person with smiling face. Please keep smiling with honest heart, because you are going to bless yourself. Please be aware of the phrases which I am going to recite, and let yourself honestly feel the real meanings of the phrases. May I be well and happy. May I be free from hatred. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from anger. May I be free from physical and mental sufferings. May I take care of myself happily. May I take care of myself happily. May I take care of myself happily. Now, take your right hand and place it on your chest, and you can mentally repeat after me. In this home, we are family. We live under the same shelter, so we must be kind to each other. Be compassionate to each other. Be friendly to each other. Help each other. Respect one another. Be happy every day. Keep smiling with honest heart. Be grateful. Be positive. Forgive even when it's really hard. Before open your eyes, please take again a very deep breath 3 times. Thank you. May you be well and happy.